Hello, Lizzo. Welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos and also educate, you guys are the real MVP. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
So, lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys. It's just something that's been going on about UK. There's UK that, like, guys, there are riots happening there. That UK is practically going under duress, and I was so able to put out some of the stitches to actually know what is happening. I'm just going to roll it, as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational, informative purposes and historical facts. All right, lovely, let's dive into it.
Out of the UK now, police in England say that 2 children have now died after that stabbing spree in Southport, England. 9 others injured, 2 critically. Police say that the attack happened at a community center where a Taylor Swift-themed dance event was being held. Our Lama Hassan is following the investigation and has been getting more details for us since we last talked. Can you tell us anything more about these victims, how they're doing? Do we know anything more about them, Lama?
Hey, Kira, yeah, this is absolutely tragic. The police just wrapped a news conference, so we have more details for you. They say that the victims were attending a Taylor Swift dance workshop, as you rightly said. 6 people are in critical condition. Tragically, 2 children have died. They believe 2 of the adults were injured trying to protect some of the children. Now, we understand 11 people were treated for stab wounds. The children were taken to a nearby children's hospital. The hospital itself declaring a major incident, urging other parents to only bring their children in if it's an emergency. And I think that gives you a sense of the severity of their cases, Kira.
So what else do we know about the suspect and a possible motive?
Yeah, so what we know is that a 17-year-old male has been arrested. He remains in police custody and he will be questioned at this early stage, the police say. They are trying to establish a motive and that the investigation is ongoing. They also confirm that this is not at the moment being treated as terror-related and they are not looking for anyone else. Now, we understand that a major police operation is still ongoing in the area. The area is still cordoned off as the police continue to search for clues and try to establish a motive. Kira.
All right, Lama Hassan, thank you.
Do you know what's going on in the UK right now? For those of you that don't know, there's riots all over the UK and in parts of Ireland. It's a whole bunch of very racist people that are very misinformed, and they're destroying properties. They are setting fire to buildings, cars, crazy shit. This all started because a 17-year-old lost his shit and went on a stabbing spree and killed 3 girls and injured, I think, 9 or 10 others. When the news initially broke out, because it was a stabbing, they went right to, he's a Muslim, he's an immigrant. They even gave him a Muslim name. It was Ali, and then I can't remember what the rest of it was. Because of the news spreading so quickly, these very racist people who are just itching, they're always waiting for that moment, right? And they just want that match to light in their eyes, and then they're gonna douse it in gas and they're just gonna burn it all down. News about this spread very quickly, and near where this happened, there was a mosque. So a whole bunch of racist Randys decided to go down there and throw shit at the mosque. The cops came out and then they started fighting with the cops, and then chaos broke out and now we have riots. And it turns out this kid who was an immigrant, who's a Muslim, is not Muslim, and he was born in the UK. He wasn't even an immigrant. And this is how they're acting. And if you see anything on TikTok about it, read those comments. These idiots that don't even know the facts are like, yeah, it's happening in the US too. The scary part is because so many people jumped on this bandwagon without even being informed. And people here supporting people in the UK. It's very close to something like that starting here. And that's the most concerning part.
I'm on my work's DE&I board, and in light of the far-right thugs that are rioting and causing havoc across this country, I've made some initial suggestions to try and make the people of colour within our workplace feel safer and more supported. The first thing I've suggested is to make a statement internally to all staff members, of course, condemning these attacks, calling them out as racist, and showing all of our staff members that we don't support this, we stand against it. The next suggestion was offering therapy for those that need it, those that are being traumatised, those that are scared. Practical support that I've suggested is working from home or changing your working hours so that you are less likely to encounter some of these racist, disgusting thugs, and putting people's safety first. Of course, I'm going to be pushing for immediate anti-racism training. That's essential across the board for everyone in the business. I think that it's really important that businesses take a stance right now. I think it's really important that they show that they care, that they're able to look after the physical and psychological well-being of their employees. So let me know if you have any other suggestions. I've actually been off on annual leave, but I felt like it was really necessary for me to email and make these suggestions now. But I'll be going in tomorrow and calling an emergency meeting. So if you have any more suggestions on things that we can be doing, please let me know.
Given what's going on in this country right now, I just want to make it very clear that racism and hate towards any minority group will not be accepted on my page in any form. The riots across the UK right now make me feel so just sad inside. It is not a solution. It is not productive. It is not helpful to anyone. It's honestly disgusting. You are not helping. You are not making things better. You're making things worse. You're contributing to making things worse. Anyway, I don't think there's much I can really say that other people haven't said, but I just wanted to make it clear that racism or hatred of any kind to any minority group will not be accepted on my page. You will just be blocked. And that's that. We are all human. We should come together and support each other. And if what's going on right now is making you sad like it is me, please remember to do some self-care and take care of yourself.
I'm ashamed of those people rioting in Southport. They are rioting and attacking police and police vans and police equipment, despite the fact that it was the police that went to help yesterday and arrest the man that did this. You know, civil war is getting closer and closer, but what is that achieving? I get the anger. I'm angry. I'm livid. I feel it in my soul. I've spent the day on and off tears. My son came home and he you know, he's at work. He's out with the lads all day in the van. They've been almost brought to tears with listening to the radio today. What is damaging police property and causing harm to people who are trying to earn money in this cost of living crisis, which is another thing that's got people riled up? What is that going to achieve? What's that going to do for the families? You know, go down to London and riot against Parliament. Yeah. Don't be causing injury to innocent policemen who yesterday were helping those poor girls. What are you doing? What are you going to achieve? Standing in the street, hurting police officers. What are you going to achieve? What are you going to achieve? Go down to London if you've got a problem. I'm all for standing up. I'm all for... everyone's had enough of what's going on in this country. It's horrendous. But innocent police officers doing their job? No. No.
The UK is in massive, massive trouble. Young, helpless children who are defenceless, lives gone like that yesterday in Southport. And it really does make you question what direction this country is going in. And it's very, very worrying. But Keir Starmer puts out a statement and all he says is that his thoughts are with the family and all that. He's really sorry and it's tragic. Don't be sorry and don't be saying it's tragic. Get on with it and do something about it. It's an absolute disgrace. You do not know who you're walking down the street with. it's worrying times for the UK. I have 2 young children and I worry for their future. I'm only 26, should be worrying for my future probably as well. But when you've got people coming on these shores, and that goes for anywhere else in the world as well, if you're letting someone come on your shores and we don't know where the people have come from, their background and their history, and they're not vetted, yet they're just stuck in hotels and are walking around the streets, what is their intentions? You know, what are the intentions? It wouldn't happen. Well, sorry, it shouldn't happen anywhere in the world. You shouldn't just be allowed to rock up on, you know, and just enter a country. You should be vetted and made sure you're safe, a safe person to, you know, coming into the country. Poland won't have it. We know Poland don't have it, and it's not racist. It's not racist at all. If I was to arrive on any shore and just turn up, I should be questioned. My background should be checked, 100%. But yeah, and for Keir Starmer, who you putting out a message yesterday saying you're sorry for it all and it's tragic and all that, forget that. Do something about it. Do something about it.
Thank you guys for watching my video. Follow my page for more update. Thank you. Take care.
As a Southport resident, what do you think of the riot that happened and the rioters?
I'm, well, obviously completely appalled. I mean, we could see on social media this was being planned. There are far-right fascist groups just seized the opportunity, seized on misinformation on the internet to mobilise and spread their hateful agenda. I've been listening to all the news and I haven't heard the word Islamophobia used once. This is a chronic Islamophobic attack. Our MP, Patrick Hurley, was being interviewed on Radio 4 before I came out, and he did not, and he described this as an attack on the police and local businesses. He had to be prompted to say it was an attack on a mosque, which is why the main reason I'm here today. I'm not actually being much use because, as you can see, I'm partially sighted and can't actually handle a broom, but it's here to show solidarity for my community and the Islamic Muslim community, which is an integral part of this town. And, you know, pardon my language, the racists can just f*** off. We don't want them here.
So there's no place for that kind of violence and racism in Southport?
There's no place for it anywhere.
I have wondered about whether to speak about what is going on in this country right now, and I have held back for so long, thinking that I have to be so careful what I say and I don't want to offend anyone. But what is going on in this country? I want to start by saying what happened in Southport has shaken me to my core. It is horrific. I cannot even begin to process what those kids have gone through, what those teachers have gone through, what the families are going through. It is barbaric, utterly barbaric. And as parents, you feel it so deeply that we are living in a world where we are fearing for our children's lives when they go into things like dance classes. The fact that we are having to check with our nursery providers, our childcare providers, what is the code of conduct? What is happening if there is a threat? Those poor kids and those poor families are going to have lifelong trauma. I can't even begin to imagine what they're going through, as well as the children and the families of the children that have been lost and the children that have been through that, because trying to explain to children why their friends aren't coming back to school, absolutely horrific. I understand that people are terrified for their children's lives. I understand that people are angry, but why are we directing our anger at all the people that have done nothing wrong? Why are people taking to the streets and rioting, smashing up their own country that they are so-called protecting? The country that they so badly want to protect and make sure that it's perfect. They are smashing up, they are abusing their own police forces, and I'm not saying that I am a fan of the bigger systems, because that is exactly who all this anger should be targeted at. But those individual police officers that are going to do their job have children. That same team that were on shift on the day of the Southport attack were then on shift again, and they were having bricks hurled at them. I honestly can't understand how more hate and more anger and more division is going to help the situation at all. And I would love to know from somebody's perspective who is out there rioting, having these racist attacks, deciding that this horrible, horrific event is a reason to target every other community except white British people. I have clients, I have friends who are now fearing for their lives, not going out on their own because they are scared that they are going to be a target. These people aren't doing it because of the Southport attack. They are not doing it to fight for those families, because if they were, they would be respecting that these families are going through the absolute unthinkable and respect that, rather than making bigger issues, smashing up things, taking police time and resources when they are trying to investigate what has happened. All these riots are doing is pinning us against each other. We are creating a civil war, and I say we as in like everybody in the UK. Absolutely do not stand for it. Will never ever resonate with anybody that is attending any of those riots. But genuinely, what are you believing that you are doing by counteracting hate with more hate? Is never going to work. So for anybody that is anything other than white British and you are feeling unsafe, I am so sorry, and I'm sending you so much love, and I want you to know that there is so many of us that do not stand for what the hell is going on at the moment. We all need to show each other more compassion. We all need to show each other love. We're all just trying to be out here living our lives, doing our best, and the people at the top are the people where this anger needs to be directed at. They are sitting back, they are stepping out, and they are letting everybody create this civil war within the country. All it is doing is creating more hurt, more pain. Those individual police officers trying to do their job, the individuals just trying to live their lives, the places where people go to pray, the places where people are meant to feel safe walking down their street, driving their cars, all of these things that I've seen today. I don't even watch the news, but things that I've seen on TikTok of people being attacked because of their religion or the colour of their skin. What on earth is going on? I know I've kind of said a whole lot of nothing, and a lot of you will probably feel the same, like you can't comprehend it, you can't put things into words. But I just feel so angry at the world that we live in, and I know that it's such an energy drainer, and I know that a lot of things are orchestrated and the people at the top have so much more control. But I just think on an individual level, we need to all be showing each other more love.
I'll be honest, guys, I do not feel safe living in the West. If you've not been living under a rock, you've probably seen the rise in far-right nationalism, not just within the UK, but all across the West. And with the way things are going, I don't actually know if I want to continue living in the West. I think I would feel much more comfortable living in a Muslim country or somewhere else in Asia. And to be honest, I've never felt particularly safe in the UK. I mean, my earliest experiences of racism started when I was only 4 or 5 years old. And I literally had an incident where there was pea bashing going around and I had to like hide indoors, and I was literally so young when this happened. It was so traumatic. Anyways, it's never been particularly safe living in the UK as a Muslim. But even more so now, it just feels that much safer, especially with all the far-right protests currently going on. And something I keep hearing white people say is, oh, it's no longer safe in this country. In the 70s and 80s, it was much safer living here. And maybe it was safe for you, but it's never been safe for us as people of colour. Back then, racism was rife. Not to say that racism doesn't exist right now, but I feel like racism now is a lot less in your face, it's more covert, whereas back then the racism was very overt, and racists would literally set people of colour's houses on fire. They would literally go around pea bashing. I mean, I've experienced that in my lifetime too, but it was much more common back then. And it just feels like that kind of racism is what we're now reverting back to. I mean, all these racist marches going on and they end up becoming very violent. But I'm not even surprised about the rise in the far right, because the media is literally pushing that narrative. They make it seem as if Muslims are these violent people and we're gonna attack you and make you take up Sharia law. And they make it seem as if people of colour are thugs and we're violent. When, let's face it, people of any colour, any religion can be violent. But yeah, I think now more than ever, community is so important and we need to focus on building more of a community, and I feel like the UK really doesn't have that. It's a lot more individualistic. We need to stop pointing the finger at immigrants, people of colour and Muslims, because the real people that are causing all these problems are the ultra wealthy, the billionaires. That's why we can't afford anything. They've literally orchestrated a cost of living crisis so that they can continue to get richer, even though they're already billionaires. I mean, how much more money do you bloody need? Whilst turning around and pointing the finger at immigrants and people of colour and Muslims and saying that we're the ones to blame.
I really promised myself that I wasn't going to get irate on this app, but the scenes coming out of Leeds, Bristol, Hull, Tamworth, Liverpool are absolutely insane. They're despicable and they're disgusting. But I think scarier than that is the way that Zara Sultana has been absolutely gaslit by Andrew Pierce in terms of the way that the Daily Mail has created a narrative around illegal migrants and immigration for years, which has actually emboldened the people who are taking part in this far right movement. That also compounded with Sarah Edwards' speech, who said that the Holiday Inn shouldn't be used to house refugees, who, by the way, could absolutely eat rocks, has created a level of complicity which essentially justifies the terrorism that we've seen in Tamworth that's happened over the course of the past weekend. I am calling them terrorists because the last time I checked, the damaging of private property and the endangering of human beings because of bigoted beliefs does count as terrorism. It's not protesting and it's not rioting, it's the systematic targeting of people that they deem as foreign. I'm not really sure how to articulate myself right now because it's been a really traumatic week of witnessing absolute insanity. I just feel like brown and black people have said that the UK is racist so many times, and so many times we've been gaslit by government reports and people telling us that it's not. And like now will you listen? Now will you see? Like, I'm viewing stuff that I'm like, this is so reminiscent of the way that people were treated during the when the Windrush generation happened. Like, my next question is, where do we go from here? Because I really didn't have a civil war in the UK in 2024 down on my like bingo card for the year. Like, you know?
Like, seriously, lovelies, the way at which things are going all over the world is as if, there is something about to happen. Like, something is about to happen. And we have not actually put our hands to see what is going on. What is all of these things about? Riot there, riot here and there. And, sometimes when I talk about riots and all of that and how black people are still, the real focus, a lot of people, tend to see it as if it's, the US thing or maybe, American thing. Without them actually realizing that this inheritance of a thing does not really have to do with only the US. As far as you're a dark-skinned person, you're a black person, or even POC, you can actually, face a level of racism. But people don't believe that. People think that, okay, we are still living in the past. You don't just say something you don't know. We don't know anything about racism. Racism does not exist and all of that. And this just keep coming to surface. No matter where you are as a black person, as a black or POC person, but it's more in the black community. Is more so pronounced in the black community. The way at which POC people are complaining about, oh my god, race is still the level is nothing to write home about compared to that of someone that has a dark skin complexion, aka black people. They suffer it in the US, in the UK, even in Europe. The Europe is just that they keep telling you to go back to your country. Like, they will say to your face that what you're doing here, you have to go back to your country and all of that. I am not disputing the fact that if you want to migrate anywhere, if you want to travel anywhere, you shouldn't do it in the right way. Like, you shouldn't go to the right procedure in order for you to migrate somewhere that you feel that you're going to get a better life. I am not disputing the fact that, okay, illegal immigrants and all of that, trying to migrate to a country without going through the normal procedure. I am not in support of that. But even with that, there is a way at which you can actually treat a normal human being without being too into it. You can gently send these people back. Or if your country or whatever is open for asylum and all of that, maybe to help refugees and all of that, you should know the protocol. You should know how to run it without trying to race into it. But the way at which, as if the world entirely, the world as a whole, have actually realized, the real chosen people, or the real people of the world, or the first people that have ever existed. So because of this, a lot of people are not getting a chill about it. A lot of people are so angry about it, so they want to use any given opportunity to actually prove a point that, okay, we don't want you guys here, we don't like you guys here, you guys are trying to come take over. I think that the world is afraid, the world is scared. Like this 2024 has, like, it's a year, we are just in the middle of the year, but it's as if we've been in 2024 for decades, because there are a lot of unfoldings, a lot of things have unfolded in 2024. In 2024, Putin opened its doors and all of that. People now realize that the person will be, praying to and all of that, Jesus, Yeshua, Jehovah, any name you want to call him, is not something, or is not someone, rather, that they have presented to us for years. He's not the person, he doesn't look the way, they presented us, but rather he looks like the way that it was described in the Bible. Not the other way around it. They have actually, presented him to look like. And apart from this, there are so many, there are things, so many Bible verses that was, stripped out of the Bible. There are so many revelations. There are so many visions, prophecy coming to fulfillment. Like this 2024 is just a year of, reckoning. Like, oh my goodness. And a lot of people are very angry. Like, there are so many people that don't like the fact that, and especially black people, are beginning to know whom they really are. They're beginning to know that, oh, these people actually did us dirty. Like, they did black people dirty. Like, not from trying to, wash away their historical fact, to trying to, change everything about them, to trying to make them feel as if they are the ones that is needing them, without even realize that black people are actually the first people that ever existed on the earth. So if you see all of these things and all the potential of, black or POC people, and you see them still progressing with all of the struggles as a black person, as a POC person, but they still progress, they still want to achieve something in life, no matter how they drag them down, you become very jealous. And what is it that these people, no matter anything they want to do to them, they actually want to get up, and do something and progress. So I see, the world is angry. A lot of truth there. People need to be very careful this time around, because especially this thing that has to do with race, it's still alive. In case of, there are so many colored people that often come, like the one I posted the other day. She was like, I never knew that this still exists. I just live my life. I don't know. You wouldn't know because you have privilege. You wouldn't know because you don't care. You don't know. You don't associate. Like, you try to, you wouldn't know. So I wouldn't blame you, but it's real. It exists, and everyone is getting the tip of the iceberg. Everyone is just noticing it. Not only, this is just so, I don't just understand what is going on. The only thing I know is that there are so many things that is happening which we don't know. There are so many, forces. There are so many people that is no angry. As in, people are so angry, especially, people that does the minority of people. Let me just use that rate. So, I don't know. I just wish that everyone is safe. Everyone is actually trying to be a better, good human being. And I wish that every other thing or everything that is happening in UK today should actually come to, a stop, so that everybody can live peacefully. Because this earth is very big to contain each and every one of us. You don't need to be superior. You don't need to form superior like you are the owner of the earth. God have created everyone equal and nobody should be treated special and the other one treated unspecial. So even if you want to feel superior, you're not in position to feel that as a superior person, because there are people that have existed here before you, so you don't need to do that. So it's better for us to all coexist in peace, love one another, treat each other in equal atmosphere, and I think the world might actually, be a better place. Anyway, lovelies, why not just, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Leave your thought in the comment section of what you think. Like, share, and I will see you
Up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. Alright, lovelies, please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.